Good evening. Chilling details have emerged about the murder of 2 children and their mother at a farmhouse near Gawler, north of Adelaide. 7 News can reveal the victims were strangled. The shocking crime scene uncovered by a friend of the accused killer.
These are the faces of an unthinkable crime. 6-year-old Amber, her brother, 5-year-old Corey, and their mother Yvette. 3 lives taken too soon, leaving a family and a nation in shock.
She was a beautiful lady and she looked after her children as best as she could. Your life doesn't always turn out sometimes how you want it to.
Their tears turning to anger when speaking about the man charged, 30-year-old Stephen Peat.
I hope justice is deserved.
He was detained at their property around 1:30 yesterday after 2 friends arrived at the home unannounced. Sam Burnell found Corey's body in a play tent and immediately called police.
There's 3 people here that just can't understand it. Why someone wouldn't do anything like that. That's totally innocent.
Mr Burnell says he saw red and knocked the alleged killer unconscious.
I was in tears. I had to hurt him. It was just a natural response.
7 News understands all 3 had been strangled. Today the property remained under police guard. Forensic officers examined the home and a car. By the farm gate, neighbours left flowers.
Have an adult take, another child's life, 2 children's life, and their mother is obviously hard.
Tears too at the Evanston Gardens Primary School, where classmates have been provided counselling.
I really felt sick to my stomach. Sorry that someone could do that.
Obviously there's a level of absolute distress, shock, and for staff a great deal of sadness.
Police are yet to allege a motive for the crime. The couple had been involved on and off for about 2 years. Donna Rigney says her daughter was an ice addict who'd recently lost custody of a 3rd child.
I wish things would have changed, but they didn't. Drugs, ice, all that shit, crack, whatever they call it.
But despite all of that, Yvette's children never stopped smiling.
Always happy, it didn't matter. They were living in shit. They were so happy.
Stacey Lee, 7 News.
And live now to Stacey Lee. And Stacey, police have left the property now?
They have, Jane. Late this afternoon, investigators wrapped up, taking with them what looked like a wardrobe and 2 cars. The man accused of this shocking crime, Stephen Peat, remains behind bars tonight after making a brief court appearance. He fronted a magistrate and had 2 black eyes, no doubt injuries sustained in that scuffle here at the crime scene. Members of the victim's family were also in court for the hearing. As for what will become of the home here, we understand it'll be knocked down and the land divided up for new homes.
Good evening. 7 News has obtained secret Families SA documents that lay bare the horrific living conditions of the 2 children murdered at Hillier this week. The reports reveal concerns their mother was a daily ice user and expose the shocking truth about why no action was taken.
As tributes at the Hillier crime scene mount, so too do the questions. Could authorities have done more to protect little Corey and his sister Amber?
There are questions that need to be answered.
The state government today rejecting calls for an urgent inquiry.
To guarantee 100% that no child in South Australia will ever be treated badly. It is just impossible.
7 News can reveal Families SA say staff shortages prevented the agency from investigating several serious reports about the children's safety. In one document last October, authorities detail evidence of neglect and drug abuse. But the case was closed because the agency's northern branch was at capacity.
This is a prime example of a case that should have been dealt with by the agency, and why has this ended in tragedy?
In January, reports the children's mother used ice daily and rarely had food in the house, and that she prioritised her drug use over her children. Again, nothing was done. Amber and Corey remained living with their mother and their alleged killer, Stephen Peat. The reason given: full caseloads of social work staff. The Child Protection Minister maintains staffing isn't an issue.
I think Families SA has the resources it needs to deal with the acute cases it needs.
Without intervention from the government, the first time Families SA's handling of the case could be scrutinised would be at a coronial inquest. The state's coroner says that's still 2 or 3 years away.
Why does it take so long? We've had endless reports, royal commissions, inquiries.
There's now been 10 deaths since July, allegedly relating to domestic violence.
This is an absolute tragedy. Every death, every murder is a tragedy.
Stacey Lee, 7 News.
The heartbroken grandparents of the children killed at Hillier 2 weeks ago have spoken publicly for the first time. They've revealed details of the uphill battle they faced in their fight to care for the kids.
Heartache no parent or grandparent should feel.
There's nothing more painful in this world than my son burying his children and us burying our grandchildren.
That's now a reality after little Amber and Corey were killed at Hillier 2 weeks ago. Their mother Yvette was murdered too, all allegedly at the hands of her boyfriend Stephen Pete.
I would have just gone and taken those kids. I wouldn't have even waited. I didn't know.
Steve and Janet had been trying for more than 18 months to have Amber and Corey live with them, having already become the carers for their older brother.
They could have all been a family again and just no chance of that happening anymore.
The kids were let down by a lot of people in a lot of places.
They hope lessons can be learnt from this tragedy.
We know what we've been through and we know that we wouldn't want to see anybody else go through it.
Families SA documents show a report was made just 3 weeks before the children died, alleging the mother used drugs daily and was also dealing. It says 6-year-old Amber had witnessed her mother using ice. Families SA had decided to investigate these claims, but said that would take 4 weeks. Before it was completed, the children were dead.
There needs to be quicker action and reaction.
Stacey Lee, 7 News.